Home track in Michigan, 5th time in the Nationwide Series, 11 of those wins, of course, in the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Denny Brauer came in today with a 10-pound lead. Almost unsurpassable. Unless, of course, you fall victim to one thing, and that is the locks. We don't know who, we don't know how big the penalties are. We know that some of our leaders were definitely caught up in the locks, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not gonna happen. Well, it's 2:17, and lock was supposed to open at 2. Lock better open in 10 minutes or so, or we all might be late. We got 10 of the 12 guys down here, so should be interesting if we don't get through this lock. We might have no weigh-in today.
We had some anglers caught below the lock. We have some late penalties. As I said yesterday, 1 pound per minute, up to 15 minutes, and then you lose your entire catch.
Hopefully, you know, we'll get through and be able to get in, and everything will turn out right. But I can tell you one thing, my stomach's in a big knot right now.
Y'all come on up.
Is he gonna let us go up with the bars, take the bars back up?
Now the tug's staying up. They're gonna pull it out from those cables there.
If he's out in 10, giving him 10 minutes from right now, if he gets out, he'll have you up in 10, provided everybody else don't drag around.
Yeah, they ain't coming out of here in 10 minutes.
Let's go!
Lights out.
Problem is, the thing's 800 feet long.
You got 8 of them in there.
There's 8 of them in there? Yeah. How long is that gonna take?
See what I've had to put up with all day, just all day.
Yeah, that's the one that wouldn't be good. If you lost a tournament because of this, that would be horrible. That's a tough way to go out when you're so close to the end, you know, you're just right there.
Aaron Martin's one of the greatest tactical fishermen in the history of the sport of fishing, may have made one of the greatest tactical moves in the history of fishing. He stayed right here. He didn't let the locks mess with him.
Could have been me down there, panicking below the lock like they are right now. It's not over yet.
There's one. Stay on, baby. Stay on.
That right there, a bunch of very agitated anglers, and for good reason. Looking at that picture, they're seeing that barge, that lock. These guys are facing the final obstacle in a series of obstacles which have composed this tournament, this 7th stop of the year for the Bassmaster Elite Series, the Arkansas River, and the Diamond Drive. I'm Tommy Sanders along with Mark Zona. This place has been fraught with difficulties, but as we look at our Yamaha lay of the lake of our playing field, the Arkansas River, this barge deal, these locks are the main deal, and that's what is thwarting them at the very end of this tournament.
For the first time ever in an Elite Series tournament, we are not focusing on catching fish. We're focusing on the obstacles our anglers are going through. And as you look at our takeoff here in pool number 6, there is only one angler, Aaron Martins, in our top 12 that's fishing here. Life is good for him. But for the majority of our anglers, check this out. Here's where they're going. If you look downriver, they have to get through the lock between pool 6 and pool 5, run another 20 miles, and they're going to go through another lock to get into pool 4 and get to the Holy Land, Pine Bluff Harbor. When you get there, well, life is good. You just got to catch your fish and then go right back through the same process. And the interesting thing, later in the day, that's when all that barge traffic starts, and the barges have priority over other traffic on this river. And here's the best way to put it. If you run into one of those barges going into a lock, it is a time killer.
And we should point it out, you cannot schedule this. These guys cannot plan their day around the barges. It's completely unpredictable. That's why it throws a big, big monkey wrench into plans. And you might ask yourself, why wouldn't a guy who has a 10-pound lead, like our leader, Denny Brauer, on the final day, not just stay in the Little Rock pool, catch a small limit, take your trophy home? Well, he explained it for us.
Well, you fish to win, and with this group, you can't have a bad day. And I don't know any good spots in this pool. I did catch a couple of keepers the first day when I locked back through at 12 o'clock. But no, I'm going to win, and if I get an hour down there, it may be enough.
The Bassmaster Elite Series Diamond Drive is brought to you by Skeeter Boats, Toyota Trucks, Berkeley, and by Humminbird.
Some people wait for the fish to bite, and some people go get them with a Mercury Optimax Pro XS. The time-tested, tournament-proven choice of champions and weekend warriors alike. Pair it with an innovative Fury propeller and the precise control of a Motor Guide trolling motor, and you'll have the ultimate fishing rig. See how Mercury gets you first to the fish at mercurymarine.com/performance. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water.
Do you remember when everybody's favorite show was Dad trying to assemble the family tent? Then keep the tradition going with great Father's Day gifts from Bass Pro Shops and BassPro.com, like Columbia All-Trail Cruise and Lookout Pass shorts, each for under $20. And save $20 on New Balance 608 cross trainers. Plus, don't miss Family Summer Camp with lots of kids' activities, crafts, outdoor workshops, plus s'mores around a campfire, all for free.
Just outside of Memphis, a barbecue joint. Not the best known, just the best. The Germantown Commissary. The walls are cluttered with famous folks who've shared the secret. Where to find the best damn ribs south of Mason-Dixon. Another secret we're sharing? Evan Williams Bourbon. This is the smooth stuff, the good stuff. Evan Williams, smooth bourbon. Priced right. Spread the word.
A proud sponsor of Bass.
600 pounds of salmon breath. You in? 5th generation Forerunner. Sucker punched by a big fish. You in? 5th generation Forerunner.
Design backed by cutting-edge precision. Sophistication that's world-renowned. Durability that's not to be outdone. So why do we insist on such perfection? We know what's at stake. The only spinning reel so advanced, it's a Revo. Revo Premier from Abu Garcia for life.
The drama of IndyCar racing continues on ABC. Get set for heart-pounding speed and danger when the world's fastest drivers go head-to-head at the Eyes on IndyCar Series at Milwaukee today at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
The fourth and final day, championship day, this Bassmaster Elite Series event. Host city of Little Rock, Arkansas, on the Arkansas River for the Diamond Drive. We've got 12 anglers left in this thing right now. And carrying the 10-pound lead into the final day is this man, the veteran from Missouri, Denny Brower, who's won every accolade. But he's got a lot of work in front of him today, including locking twice to get to his fish.
We had a locking schedule that we had to be to the first lock by 7:20, the next lock at 8:30, and it'd get us to our fishing spot around 9:15. But that's changed a little bit each day depending on the barge traffic. So I don't know what the day's going to bring, but hopefully we'll get a little more than 2 hours to fish. Yesterday was a real struggle. Be nice if we could get about 3.5.
I got as hard as these guys, man. I'm not running but 100 yards, but I'm also fishing a long time.
Got him right where I want him. Right where I want him, see. Going nothing but bigness. That's what we're fishing for today. So, the second place will be good and all too, but we're gonna go for the win, and whatever they fall is where they fall. That's how we're gonna attack the day.
Reminder, check-in is at 3 o'clock right here. 3 o'clock is check-in.
You fish to win, and with this group, you can't have a bad day. But no, I'm going to win, and if I get an hour down there, it may be enough.
Yeah, that's it, dude. You guys have a nice run.
Aaron Martin's about to reap the benefits of time there. These guys going to be 2 hours at least getting to their destination, and Martin sits right there. But you heard Denny Brower say he's fishing it to win it. He is not going to play a prevent defense.
Well, exactly. I mean, he's got to go back down there. He has done all of his damage down in Pine Bluff. And let's take a look at this aerial map again of exactly what these anglers are having to go through. You got really about a 12-mile ride to your first lock, which separates Pool 6 and Pool 5. You see that lock right there in the middle of your screen. After you get through that, you're going to make about another 20-mile run to the lock between Pool 5 and Pool 4. After that, you're in the Holy Land. You are in the promised land of Pine Bluff Harbor. But from there, let's go back to our takeoff and take a look at the one angler in this event that literally, Tommy Sanders, he has planned all week to avoid the locking situation and maximize his fishing time.
Right, Aaron Martin's the only one of our 12 anglers to have prospered in this Little Rock pool. He's the only man left in there today and starts only 100 yards from the takeoff.
You know, but Denny's got a big lead. I mean, I still feel like I can win it. I mean, I don't wish anything bad on Denny, but something could happen to the point where I, come in with another decent bag. Those guys could get locked out, and that's why I feared. That's why I didn't go down there. Almost every day has been disqualifications and late penalties because of barges. Cats, dude. Look at all the cats. You see all the cats up here? They're all the same. Was there like 3 or 4 of them? Those are wild cats. Remember that Delta show and Zona put those sounds in there? I can do better than that. Cats are cool. Pound per pound, a lot more gnarly than a dog, I know that. Maybe I was distracted with the cats and I let my bait sit for a second and I caught a fish. So you get around cats, you start catching fish, just like the Delta. I won that tournament, remember? Remember all the kitties around? And they're everywhere, and I was like, I didn't make those sounds though, that was Zona. But I did a pretty good cat because I have one now.
I love it, Tommy. Aaron Martin's getting help from some locals, local cats that is, to cut into his deficit. He starts with an over 10-pound deficit to Denny Brower. He catches that. While Denny Brower and the rest of our anglers headed for Pine Bluff Harbor are already through their second lock. These guys are shooting through today.
And here's the best way to describe a lock. It's kind of like that troll under the bridge waiting for the sheep to go by, and the sheep think, hey, it's not going to be me. It's going to be another fisherman it's going to get. Well, here's the interesting thing on this final morning. A lot of our anglers getting through the lock very, very quickly. Predominantly, you look at their tracks, where they've ran this whole week. They've only had an hour and a half, 2.5 hours of fishing. And on this final day, they are blowing through these locks. There's not a lot of traffic on the river. Going to be a lot more fishing on this final day.
Got about 20 miles per each segment, each pool of this river. And they're making great time. They will, as you say, get plenty more time today.
The first day I fished a total of an hour and a half and caught 15 pounds and went back up just to make sure I didn't get locked out. Was back in the weigh-in pool at 12 o'clock noon. Second day I fished 2 hours and left early. Yesterday we only got to fish a couple hours. Today we're going to get to fish a little bit longer, but you add all 4 days of my fishing together and it doesn't even add up to what normally we have one full day just because of all the travel and locking time. So, that says quite a bit about the fishery too, that all the guys have been able to catch them down here on limited time. So, if we all had a 9-hour day down here, it'd be scary the type of stringers that'd probably be brought in.
And right there is the reason why most of our anglers are making this run. When you get to Pine Bluff, you catch them. And the key word here, stability, water quality, a lot of bait. Tommy Sanders, a lot of bites.
We'll go even more deeper in depth on why this is the place, this is the attraction to these guys, and Denny Brower scoring early. Again, we can't stress this enough. Denny Brower is a guy who takes a massive lead on the final day and puts it all on the line in this possibly uncertain situation with the locks. The rest of these guys, would they have done the same thing? Well, listen.
Oh, I'd go, baby. I mean, he knows staying up here is just, you know, it's a gamble. He knows if he gets 2 hours down there, he can win it. If he stays up here, he could zero. But if I was Denny, I would order like 4 or 5 chicken wings and some rolls and some pizza sticks and some chiclets, and I have a good time tomorrow.
Take the water by storm with Humminbird sonar technology. Choose between 2 high-performance display modes and decide how you read the water with Switchfire sonar. See picture-like images to either side of the boat with side imaging. Or choose down imaging for crystal clear views directly below you. Fish smarter with Switchfire, side imaging, and down imaging. Only from Humminbird. Simply, clearly, better.
The Minn Kota Fortrex. Its ruthless mono-arm design features an extruded aluminum backbone with uncompromising strength. A counter-tension stabilizer with no play and no give for silent operation. And lift assist for easy stow and deploy. But it doesn't just sound tough, it walks the walk by outmuscling anything in its path to help you catch more fish. Fortrex, the strong silent type with a built-in mean streak.
FIFA Women's World Cup on ESPN.
Gnomes. They stand. They stare. They're everywhere. My sweet little flower boy. But now...
Call me.
They're coming to life.
This is good.
Coming to play.
I suggest we put our heads together. Go! Shoot!
And play on demand.
It's about time. That's gonna leave a mark.
Romeo and Juliet.
Order this movie now in crystal clear HD with Fios on demand.
Now, when you refer Fios to your friends, Verizon will give you up to $50 in American Express rewards cards for you and each friend. Simply go to sharethenetwork.com, enter your friend's email, and once they've signed up for qualifying Verizon services, you both receive up to $50. Plus, you'll get a chance to win great prizes like smartphones, gift cards, and more. Your friends will thank you, we'll reward you. So log on to sharethenetwork.com now.
Bassmaster Elite Series for 2011 is getting closer and closer to the grand finale. This is event number 7 of 8 total events. We're on the Arkansas River for the Diamond Drive, our skeeter boats. Rules of the game, we started with 100 anglers, got the field down to 50 after 2 days, and today, final day, championship day, 12 of them shooting for the $100,000 first prize. Denny Broward leading the way, started with a 10-pound plus lead. He is maintaining that lead. So far today, Aaron Martin's in the mix as well, and this guy too, trying to run down Denny from a long way back, Gerald Swindle.
And let's make this clear. When you get to Pine Bluff Harbor, it's not like you just throw a bait out and magically you catch a limit in 5 casts. In fact, Gerald Swindle, one of the anglers that said, this is a grinder tournament. You got to get into Pine Bluff and really, really burrow down. The key thing in Pine Bluff, all of the spots very, very isolated.
You think I ain't been around them red dots, them 2 blue dots? Got it blurred out with a red line. That's the last spot I found before I went in down here. I fished from daylight to dark. I said I'm gonna make one more stop. Come right down through here and found 2 different wads of them. Better catch one right here. I got him. He a big one too. No, as big as I thought, but he's a good one. Oh, he's caught, he's skinny, he's ugly, he's frail, but I'm pretty sure he's 15.
Might want to note that a keeper largemouth in this body of water is going to be 15 inches. Of course, Swindle commenting on the poor condition, the lightness of that fish right there. That's going to be one he will want to cull before day's end if he's going to face up to the monumental task of running down from more than 10 pounds back, running down Denny Brower. And meanwhile, Denny Brower, who has won it all, the last time he's won on the Bassmaster Elite Series, 2006 on Lake Champlain, which couldn't be a whole lot more different than it is from this place, the Arkansas River. But Denny's got experience here too.
I know we've had classics here where we've been able to run 2 pools down, and you got lily pads and cypress trees and just terrific bass habitat, a lot of backwater area. And it seems like the rivers that have lots of backwaters are usually the rivers that have a pretty good bass population. I would almost bet that this is a resident population of fish that never see the river. You know, I thought they were transient fish that spawn back here, and just these are stopping places before they head out. But as deep as this water is, as much bait, they may stay here all year. You're gonna have to move. That'll help. A 2 3/4 pounder. A good way to start the day. Yesterday it was such a struggle to get bites. And to get 2 bites this early, that's helping the cause. Pretty fish. That's more like the quality I'd been catching. Yesterday all I could get is little bites.
No, I hear you on that, Denny Brower. Looked a little bit bigger than 2 3/4 pounds. Denny Brower, though, striking quick.
Aaron Martin's here. Let's take a streetcar back up to Pool 6 in the city of Little Rock. Martin's looking to score again.
How cute. I don't experience this very often, where there's like nobody here. You can leave spots and don't have to worry about guys pulling up on me. It's been pretty nice. Ton of brim. I see them surfacing all over. It's just a good, I mean, look at the rock too. The rock is where it's at though. You don't find this rock all over the river. This is downtown Little Rock's got the best rock that I've seen. There's a ton of it on the wing dams and stuff, but bank-wise, there's not a whole lot of really good rock. And that makes a big difference. Awesome. I needed that. Yeah, bro. Oh!
And you have got to give it up to Aaron Martins. Working these bass, California style. A lot of finesse, drop shotting them. We asked him why. He said, these fish are so conditioned from the local pressure here, whether it's jigs, worms, or crankbaits. He said the drop shot has been the #1 weapon this week.
Aaron Martins is so good at what he does, and the fact that he is prospering here in this pool really speaks a lot for him. He's getting that done. The guys in Pine Bluff Harbor, though, also getting it done, catching fish this morning. But what they can't see is this sight right here, a giant barge moving up the Arkansas River. And the fact of this matter is that if that barge reaches the lock, while they're trying to get home through that lock, that barge goes through first, and they take a long time to get through. That can wipe out an entire day's fishing. This thing is far from over.
£600 of salmon breath. You in? 5th generation Forerunner.
sucker punched by a big fish. You in? 5th generation Forerunner.
You do your thing with the rest of us. Ramada Worldwide.
Take the water by storm with Humminbird sonar technology. Choose between 2 high-performance display modes and decide how you read the water with Switchfire sonar. See picture-like images to either side of the boat with side imaging. Or choose down imaging for crystal clear views directly below you. Fish smarter with Switchfire, side imaging, and down imaging. Only from Humminbird. Simply, clearly, better.
The Unprepared Man's Guide to Fishing. Modern fishing gear has been pivotal in man's conquest of fish, but the unprepared man can make do without. Attach 2 potato crisp cans at a right angle. Mount a lens from a pair of aviator sunglasses to the joint and let the fishing begin.
Don't be that guy. Come into Gander Mountain and get everything for your next fishing adventure. Gander Mountain, we live outdoors.
At last, a film festival for everyone who loves the water. We're looking for videos of your favorite moments on the water.
That is fantastic.
We're looking for you. Submit your film anytime between now and September 30th.
Oh, no.
And our 3 famous judges will choose the winning film. The winner receives their choice of a Mercury outboard or a fishing trip with one of our judges. So give it your best shot and submit your film to mercfilms.com. The Mercury Films Festival. Submit, vote, win.
The drama of IndyCar racing continues on ABC. Get set for heart-pounding speed and danger when the world's fastest drivers go head-to-head. Following a decisive win at Texas, points leader Will Power proved he's a championship contender. Now he looks to ride that momentum into the Milwaukee Mile, where defending champion Dario Franchitti continues to lurk in his rearview mirror. The Eyes On IndyCar Series at Milwaukee, today at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
Well, this is it, the final day, championship day. Bassmaster Elite Series stopped 7 of 8 for this 2011 season. The Diamond Drive, that's the scene right there, the Arkansas River, that was Pine Bluff Harbor, where a lot of our anglers are catching fish. Denny Brower being among them, and he holding on to that massive 10-pound lead that he had to start the day. You got to watch, though, the end of the day. That's when these anglers have to make their way back to this place, Little Rock, where Aaron Martins is laboring on. Tough fishing here, but Aaron says, hey, don't be surprised to see a Western angler in here. We got tough conditions.
Oh, yeah, there's fish back in there for sure. Can't believe it. I mean, this point right here is awesome. There's got to be a fish down there, you know? Can't get a feel if they're deeper or, I mean, I haven't got a bite more than 5 feet since I've been here, but I used to wonder if that other pool's is tough too, if it's just this pool gets tough. They're being bad little fishies. They're sitting, dude. They're getting back in under, you know, down here in a rock like that and sitting down in a cave.
You take a look at one of those caves right there on the shore of the Little Rock Pool, and if you talk to some of the local anglers, they'll tell you this river, this stretch of the river really goes in cycles. Cycles of years where you'll pound them. 4 years ago, in a 3-hour tournament, it would take 15 to 18 pounds weekly to win an event. But after all the recent floods the last few years, the Little Rock Pool has probably become tougher than it's been in decades.
It's a really big fish. Oh. That's a good one, dude. Yeah, I get 2 more of those, I'll be all right. Woo, it's a big one. Fish is over 4 pounds, easy. Dang.
Well, look out, that one is so big on so many different levels. First of all, probably the biggest bass that's been caught out of the Little Rock pool all week long, and most importantly, it cuts Denny Brower's lead in half. Denny Brower down here with the rest of these anglers trying to get something going, something strong going in the Pine Bluff Harbor. Gerald Swindle has been working hard with some success so far today.
There's a bite right there. Come on, baby, hold it. Oh, come on. Oh, he did. God, I missed. Freaking draw that. And come back and got it. Keeper too. Broke my rod. I think I broke my rod in half. That's it, baby. That's 5. That's 5.
Gerald Swindle, one of our first anglers on this final day to put 5 15-inch bass in his live well. And if you notice, you look at Aaron Martins, Gerald Swindle, all of these anglers fishing very, very finesse style, but these bass are on very key pieces of cover.
Meanwhile, Denny Brower out there occupying that spot. He has occupied all week since Tuesday, a practice day, in fact, when he found it and found that this was the place he believed would win this tournament.
This is just one of them perfect storms right here. Very, very deep water, 40 foot of it, right behind the boat. The bar that runs out here, it's got some brush on it. And the brush has got a boat on it, by the way. And it's got a few rough spots in here, and fish are really relating to the brush and the rough spots.
Well, it's time for the Bassmaster Advanced View from Humminbird, Tommy Sanders. And here's an interesting thing about the spot Denny is fishing. We got out on the water and we actually side imaged this whole entire area. And here's what it really looks like with our animation. It's a big, deep bowl. And on the rim of this bowl, there was little rough spots. And if you look to the left side of your screen, you see that right there? A little bit of gravel mixed in with some shells. But it was how Denny Brower was fishing these, quote, rough spots he was fishing. They were all in about, call it 6 down to 15 feet of water, and you could not work the bait. You wouldn't hop it off the bottom. You would simply drag that 3/4 ounce jig through these rough spots. And these rough spots, they're about 30, 40 yards long. Make repetitive casts. Continuously drag that bait. Maintain contact with the bottom. That is when one of these bass would commit. But Denny Brower said, remember the exact cast when you caught one.
He's not big, folks, but in my world right now, that's a giant, absolute giant. Ugh. 2 1/4 pounds, something like that. Beautiful. We can use him.
Beautiful is the word. It's been a beautiful day for Denny Brower. I mean, perfect. He starts the day with a 10-pound lead on a tough fishery. Final day, he puts together a very respectable stringer of fish to take back and claim his trophy once he starts back. But starting back, the ride back, that's the only thing that stands between him and the trophy. As we look at the leaderboard, he's on top now. He'll have to get back to Little Rock to claim it.
When you come to CarQuest, you'll find the quality parts you need and the service you deserve, along with the peace of mind that you've come to a place you can trust, where our people are happy to share their expertise to help you get it right. Whether you're a Saturday superstar or one of our many professional customers, when you deal with any of our 3,000 CarQuest stores, you'll discover an experience as exceptional as our products, plus the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. Great products, great prices, and something more. at CarQuest Auto Parts.
The Yamaha VMAX SHO. First it changed the game. Now it's set the standard. But don't take our word for it.
The whole shot was everything they said it was going to be.
And we accelerated from like 50 miles an hour to 70, and it was like that.
So fast, so quiet. I mean, you give it power, and it's just there.
That thing right there is just bad.
The whole shot on it, the second to none. Oh, yeah, it's for real.
Take a demo ride and feel the power yourself. You'll know why we call it the Game Changer.
Take the water by storm with Humminbird sonar technology. Choose between 2 high-performance display modes and decide how you read the water with Switchfire sonar. See picture-like images to either side of the boat with side imaging. Or choose down imaging for crystal clear views directly below you. Fish smarter with Switchfire, side imaging, and down imaging. Only from Humminbird. Simply, clearly, better.
FIFA Women's World Cup on ESPN.
The ride, the life, the thrill. Unite the mindset with a Dream Machine and you get a thrill that goes on and on. Dream Machines of Texas and Farmers Branch. The largest selection of pre-owned Harley-Davidsons, Metrics, and custom bikes in the Metroplex. All brands including pre-owned American Iron Horse, Big Dog motorcycles, and Big Bear choppers. Huge selection, unbeatable prices, exceptional service. Call or go to DreamMachinesOfTexas.com, where we have over 50 pictures of each bike.
A beach's vacation is about more than just getting away. It's about catching your first wave and fulfilling a lifelong dream. It's about exploring new worlds in a place with more chutes than ladders, where the only thing more spectacular than the pools is the beach. It's about service with more than a smile and bringing generations together. It's about hanging on and letting go. Beaches. It's the vacation you'll talk about for the rest of your lives. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Final day of the tournament, the Bassmaster Elite Series Diamond Drive on the Arkansas River. It has been hard to catch fish here. In fact, each day about a quarter of our field only have caught limits. But here are the top 12, the ones who have done well this week. Denny Brower leading the way. Now he's got the 11-pound lead over his nearest pursuer, Aaron Martins. Check out our Berkeley Big Bass of the tournament. One of our anglers down here in the Pine Bluff Harbor notched that one on day number 3. That would have been Jonathan Van Dam with the 5-pounder. Meanwhile, Gerald Swindle using the finesse techniques to get over on this final day.
There's a piece of brush in between me and 5 foot of water. And there's a rough place on the other side of the brush. So what I do is I throw all the way to the rough place. You got a little bit of a risk every time that you're going to get hung in the brush. There he is. He's got me in the brush. I still got him. He's a big one. He's in the brush. I still got him. He's in the brush. Got me back in the brush. Got me back in the brush. Come on. Got me in the brush. Nope, got me in the brush. Here he comes, Wes. Watch out, Wes. Woo! Yeah, baby! Woo! Woo! Come on, that vicious fishing line, baby! 2 pieces of brush! Woo! God almighty! Woo! Oh. Son! That takes me back to my junior high dance. There I was, nothing on but a pair of MC Hammer pants and a polo shirt tucked in tight, pants up to my nipples. And I thought I was looking good. I had 2 arm hairs under my pits and I was ready for love. And there she stood, Judy McLean, first girl to blossom. Whew. Was I loving her.
Oh, I hear you. Tommy Sanders, one of the best fish catches and commentating that we've heard all year long.
That story is going somewhere.
From Gerald Swindle over to Jonathan Van Dam, also in Pine Bluff Harbor. A little more drama this week. Jonathan fishing very close to a 1, Denny Brower, but he has stood his ground on and off the water. But Jonathan Van Dam's #1 enemy right now has become one word, and that is time.
I wish we had more time. Need more time, guys. Need more time. I guess that's what you get for locking twice and running all the way down here. That's one of the risks you take. Part of it. Got another big one. Big one. Yep. This is a good one right here. Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. That's one of mine. Come on, baby, come on. Stay down. No, 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 no. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Come on, baby. Oh, no, 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 no. Come here. Ah, yeah. Look at this right here. Barely had him hooked. One more run, I think she would come on. That's the kind you need right there, guys. That's the kind we need.
Good one for Jonathan Van Dam. Otherwise, his day has been a big 0. Had a huge day down here in Pine Bluff Harbor on day #3. That helped facilitate his rise from a 0 on day 1 all the way into the top 6 to start this final day. But there again, the man who is leading the way, Denny Brower. Of course, again, we say it's been tough for all these anglers here. Denny Brower has put his faith in this place, and he likes this river.
You don't want to look at the Arkansas River fishery and judge it negatively on what happened in this tournament. The main river itself is about as screwed up as it could get with all the flooding that went on and lots of current and lots of water fluctuation, just a lot of negative things going on, up and down, up and down. Hard to get fish to stabilize when it's like that. And of course, down here at the lower end in the backwater, it's good, it's perfect, but the bad thing is we got such a short window of opportunity, so it doesn't show what it'd normally show either. So overall, the Arkansas River is a tremendous fishery, especially some of the pools down further that we cannot fish right now. Right now, the Arkansas River could become my favorite river of the week for sure. There we go. It's a bass. I'll get rid of that one. That's a relief. Right. Looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better. Somebody's gonna have to, we're gonna have to bust them big time now. And the good thing is all the people that are close are down here with me, so if we get locked out, they get locked out too.
Well, that is not exactly the case right now. Aaron Martins is still fishing and pounding on them up in Little Rock, and it is time to make that journey back upriver to our takeoff there in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this is what you have to go through. You have to get back through the first lock, lock number 5, make about a 20-mile run. You're gonna sit in lock number 6, and we've teed it up the entire show so far, and every nightmare that you can imagine for Denny Brower will now come to light.
If we don't get locked out, that'll really make for an exciting weigh-in, won't it?
I called him at 1:50 and he said maybe a 30-minute delay. And don't hold me to that, but he said I'm looking at about a 30-minute delay right now. That'd put us 2:20 getting in. The latest we can get in and make it, I figure, is 2:35.
You got to be kidding.
The Bassmaster said Probably the earliest he can get us out of the lock is 2:45, so that's pushing it. So I guess we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what happens.
We're supposed to be up at 2, and he says the best he hopes to have us up is by 2:45 or 2:50, and it's a 10-minute run to the ramp. So I don't see it happening. Denny don't see it happening. Reed don't see it happening. Quinn don't see it happening. Rick and screwed.
Well, that lock was supposed to open at 2. The lock better open in 10 minutes or so, or we all might be late. We got 10 of the 12 guys down here, so should be interesting if we don't get through this lock. We might have no weigh-in today.
Boys, we ain't gonna make it. He's got to get that lock open, that barge out, us in and back up.
Not gonna happen.
We're done.
Hopefully, we'll get through and be able to get in and everything will turn out right. But I can tell you one thing, my stomach's in a big knot right now.
Y'all come on up. Is he gonna let us go up with the barge, take the barge back up?
No, the tug's staying up. They're gonna pull it out with those cable things.
Oh. If he's out in 10, giving him 10 minutes from right now, if he gets out, he'll have you up in 10, provided everybody else don't drag around.
Yeah, they ain't coming out of here in 10 minutes.
Let's go!
Lights out.
Problem is, thing's 800 feet long.
You got 8 of them in there.
There's 8 of them in there? Yeah. How long is that going to take?
See what I've had to put up with all day? Just all day.
This is Aaron's lucky day. At least Aaron's. Maybe Ish got stuck too.
Go as far to the front as you can and to the left. Thank you, boss. I'm gonna hit it. Denny, he said as soon as they're halfway open, Denny, go. I'm gonna be right behind you.
Pounds of salmon breath. You in? 5th generation Forerunner. Sucker punched by a big fish. You in? 5th generation Forerunner.
Remember when everybody's favorite show was Dad trying to assemble the family tent? Then keep the tradition going with great Father's Day gifts from Bass Pro Shops and BassPro.com, like Worldwide Sportsman Angler shirts for only $14.94 and the Shimano Corrado Baitcast Reel for under $140. Plus, don't miss Family Summer Camp with lots of kids' activities, crafts, outdoor workshops, plus s'mores around a campfire, all for free.
Design backed by cutting-edge precision. Sophistication that's world-renowned. Durability that's not to be outdone. So why do we insist on such perfection? We know what's at stake. Veritas and Verdict, the next generation of the V-Series from Abu Garcia for life.
The drama of IndyCar racing continues on ABC. Get set for heart-pounding speed and danger when the world's fastest drivers go head-to-head. Following a decisive win at Texas, points leader Will Power proved he's a championship contender. Now he looks to ride that momentum into the Milwaukee Mile, where defending champion Dario Franchitti continues to lurk in his rearview mirror. The Eyes Out IndyCar Series at Milwaukee, today at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
World #1 and defending champion Rafael Nadal opens play at the All England Club, and Venus Williams returns to the Grand Slam stage. The Championships, Wimbledon, begins tomorrow at 7 a.m. on ESPN2.
The Bassmaster Elite Series Diamond Drive is brought to you by Mercury, Evan Williams Bourbon, Minn Kota, and by Triton Boats.
Final day, and finally these boats are out of the lock. It is check-in time right now, 3 p.m. for these anglers coming up from the Pine Bluff Harbor. They've got, well, anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes to get back to the weigh-in. With each minute that ticks off, they are going to lose 1 pound of fish. If it takes them 15 minutes to get back to the check-in, they will lose their entire catch. Earlier, Aaron Martin squeezing every last moment out of this day and wondering, where are all the guys from Pine Bluff? Why are they not here yet? He's thinking about his chances improving.
It's kind of, I find it slightly amusing though that there's nobody coming. Now I'm thinking about it, I can't help it. Well, it's getting later and nobody's coming. It's kind of weird. Who'd ever thought? I don't know what the feeling is, but it's nervousness, I guess. Very nervous right now. It's the only reason I didn't go. I was scared to have something like that happen. Could have been me down there, panicking below the lock like they are right now. Panicked enough right now myself. I need to figure out how to get one more stinking fish. But that wouldn't be right. It'd be way more interesting if I had 4 and they missed the lock. It'd be way more suspenseful.
We got to say it, Aaron Martins has put himself in a position to possibly take this win.
Well, and that right there, that 4-pounder in the Little Rock pool was an absolute monster, not only for the final day, but for this entire tournament. Aaron Martin, who's been plagued by what you can say misfortunes on final days of Elite Series tournaments, today, the heavens may be shining.
Yeah, God does things it's always a reason, I think. I haven't caught fish that big yet, since I've been here. But why would I catch not a limit and get a 4-pounder? That's kind of weird, Hey, if I don't have it, at least I got another second. That'd be freaking awesome. That'd be like 13 seconds in Bassmasters I've gotten. I'm not allowed to catch another keeper. Dude, it's fate. It's crazy. If I do get one, it'll be like the last minute. Well, it'll be like the last cast. It's so tough on me right now. Those guys have it easier. They're just locked out. Nothing they can do. Incredible, dude. I cannot get that one last bite. As a matter of fact, I'm not getting any bites. Get off there. Dog. Oh, you little turd. That's my last fish I'm gonna catch, right there. I sure hell ain't gonna be late. I'll come in a minute early if I have to.
Aaron Martin's obviously a little bit disgusted with himself. He couldn't get the 5-fish limit here in the Little Rock pool on this final day, but still, the whole story is far from being written. Everything depends on those anglers coming from Pine Bluff Harbor.
Denny Brower came in today with a 10-pound lead, almost unsurpassable. Unless, of course, you fall victim to one thing, and that is the loss.
It's not over yet.
We don't know who, we don't know how big the penalties are. We know that some of our leaders We're definitely caught up in the locks, ladies and gentlemen.
Should be 6.
Our first angler from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, Tim Horton. 6 minutes late is going to hurt Tim Horton's chances here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, 6 pounds worth of penalties.
So I was pushing it, getting back, and I get back, and all the boats are outside the lock, just sitting outside. And I said, oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you what, though. The lock master, you know, we can communicate with him via the rules. You know, he's doing his job. He was as cordial and worked as hard to get us out of there as he could. You know, he tried to tell the guy that was driving the barge, you know, we'd like to get these guys up, and the guy didn't offer to wait. I just hope it don't cost Denny. Denny fished a great tournament.
Well, we told him at the beginning of the tournament, you lock at your own risk. And maybe the strategy was to stay right here in this Little Rock pool. It's going to come down to that, I think, for one angler. Needs 10 pounds, 8 ounces to take the lead. Can he do it? 10 pounds, 11 ounces. Aaron Martin takes the lead away from Danny Brower. It's one of these guys going to be walking away with it. Denny had 44-13. He's got 5 fish, but he's got a 6 minutes late. He needs 5 ounces to win this thing. With penalties, 7 pounds, 5 ounces. Danny Brower is your champion. Come on, Little Rock, get loud for win number 17, the flipping power of Danny Brower.
And this day is finally over. Everything that these guys had to go through, all the stress, all the tension, and that final major obstacle, which was composed of time, and Denny Brower is the man who stands on top, and why wouldn't it be an emotional win for him? He's won everything in the sport of bass fishing. This makes win number 17 with the Bassmasters. Those wins are so hard to come by, and here at age 62, it ain't easy. He pushes through despite everything that was thrown at him at this last day. That is huge.
And it's fair to say, Denny Brower, a grizzly bear on the water and at times off the water. But really, when this tournament was done, he was sitting backstage, and I looked at him and I said, Denny, have you ever seen, and he looked at me and said, no, I've never seen 7 days like this, but it is time for this right now, for the Evan Williams Bourbon Secrets Worth Sharing. And here we go. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, yeah. Strike King 3/4 ounce tour grade football head with a Rage Craw trailer. And here was the key to Denny Brower's success. Other anglers that were fishing down in Pine Bluff Harbor, it was dragging the bait. They said all these fish were so conditioned that if you'd work that bait like a regular jig or a worm, you'd never get a bite. You had to drag it. And Bud, you've got to give props to all the guys that went down there all week long.
Well, they put it all on the line, took the big chance.
That was funny.
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay, we got to move on to something equally as important. Toyota Tundra Bassmaster Angler of the Year, a huge title. And coming into this, Kevin Van Dam faced a 20-point deficit, a small deficit. We knew things would get shaken up this week, and so they did get shaken up. Barry Scroggins, the man in the lead, did not make the cut here. Also, Alton Jones, who had been such a big part of the picture, not making the cut. Steve Kennedy, not making the cut here. So it's down to Kevin Van Dam, basically, and Edwin Evers. Edwin Evers is still capable of doing it. He can do it points-wise. How probable is that, though?
Edwin Evers has a big mountain to climb on Wheeler Lake. The reason why Kevin Van Dam's track record on Wheeler as unstoppable as you can find. But that being said, Wheeler is setting up very, very tough. And as we have seen all year long, anything can happen.
And looking beyond all that, we have to look at the postseason for the first time ever. Toyota Trucks All-Star Week, big double-barreled extravaganza down there in Alabama. The top 8 points getters from the series this year are going to be competing in that, plus 4 more positions at large, voted on by you. When you go to Bassmaster.com, check out the sweepstakes, which begins June 21st. You can vote, you can be a part of it, even a chance to win prizes, so definitely check that out. We'll be looking most closely at the final event of the year, the Dixie Duel, Wheeler Lake, next time on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to Bassmaster.com.
Danny Brower